Hey, what's up, Halos in the Infield fans? Dominic Lorenz from Katella Chronicles here with you. And in a weird, funny manner, I'm coming to you live from home and to bring you some of the Angels Tigers afternoon baseball play by play. It's 4-2 in the top of the seventh. And if you haven't watched already, the Angels have had technical difficulties on Bally Sports West. And the game is being shown, but Matt Vasgersian and Mark Gubaza are having to physically use their phones and call in order to get you the play-by-play. So why not bring you the play-by-play on a much better feed right now here on YouTube? That's what we want to do right now. So it's kind of funny. It's a little cheeky, but I was talking to Fernando and James on our little group page, and they said, why not go on and do some play-by-play coverage? So we're going to do it right now for you. If you're unable to watch the game from home, or wherever you may be here on this Tuesday, come on now and join us right now as Moustakas steps to the plate, top of the seventh, one out, and he'll drive that one into left field, going back on it and making the grab for out number two. So quickly here in the top of the seventh, Angels doubling up the Tigers right now by the score of 4-2 in the top of the seventh. If you're just joining, how in the heck did the Angels get their runs? Well, I'm going to tell you how they got the runs, because originally it was Griffin Canning on the bump today against Eduardo Rodriguez, and this is how it went down. Angels got 2 runs in the first inning on a double by Mike Moustakas in a right field, 2-0 Angels. In the bottom of the fourth, the Tigers got on the board with an RBI single from Javi Baez, and then the Angels right back in the top of the fifth scored 2 more, a Taylor Ward sac fly, and an Eduardo Escobar single to left. And speaking of Escobar, he lines out to second base to end the frame. So the Angels go down 1-2-3. We go to the bottom of the seventh, and quickly, we're already a half inning through here on the Halos in the Infield / Katella Chronicles live play-by-play in a pinch hit kind of role. Angels broadcast as well as the Tigers broadcast. Bally Sports is having issues today due to Comerica Park having a power outage in the truck area where all the tech equipment's at for Bally Sports West and Bally Sports Detroit or Michigan or whatever they want to call it. So it's kind of like, as James putting it right now, it's like a high school local college game broadcast right now. It's so funny. I've been a part of many of those, at the high school, at the college level, and it's very hilarious to see. At the same time, I know as a broadcaster personally how you just feel helpless in this situation that you can't do anything. And the funny thing is, Matt Vasgersian tried to call some of the game via Instagram Live earlier, but the connection was so bad it just wasn't working. So very funny things coming from the Angels broadcast today. For the Tigers, they got their final run of the game in the bottom of the fifth on a solo home run by Jake Rogers. So that's the scoring at a 4-2 Angels. We'll get more as we're in a commercial break right now. Starting pitcher for the Halos, Canning goes 5 innings, allows 2 runs on 7 hits, no walks, 8 punchouts, following a fantastic game against the Yankees last Monday, where he had a career-high 12 strikeouts. He gets 8 today in 5 innings. Soriano just came in and pitched the 6, a clean 6 thus far, so we'll see if he comes back out once again. And then on the opposite side for the Tigers, Rodriguez goes 4 2/3 innings, gives up 4 runs on 7 hits. Brisky comes in and goes an inning and a third, no runs, 1 hit, and then White comes in the 7th for a clean 1-2-3 frame. It looks like Soriano's coming back into this ballgame right now in the bottom of the 7th. Maton going to be the pinch hitter coming out to go off against Soriano. The first pitch misses inside for a ball, 1-0. Nick Maton, a 162 average, 7 homers, 27 RBIs. The only hits in the ballgame for the Tigers today was McKinstry and Green, as well as 2 from Verling and 1 from Baez. The 1-0 pitch, and that one's grounded. The camera's footage is not working, but it looks like it was a ground out to the shortstop Velasquez over to first in time for out number 1. So see, it's almost, I know we make jokes about Bally Sports, and I know the Angels broadcasters, Angels company can't do too much about it. There's a power outage in Detroit at Comerica Park where the camera setup is, and it's just not working. So it's a very old school broadcast. First pitch is right on in there to Rogers for a strike, and it's 0-1. Using the trusty phone to get all the up-to-the-minute data. So it's funny times here. But why not join us right now here at Halos in the Infield to watch the game with us right now? If it's not as clean as possible, it's because we're posting right now, and that's the funniest thing right now. It's just, who would have thought? It's almost like that meme of Paul Rudd when he does the Hot Wings challenge. Who would have thought? Not us. Not me. Like, who would have thought we would have been doing this here on a Tuesday? Let me set it up here. But so far, a good start from Canning this I don't want to say this afternoon. This game started at 3:40, so a little bit of late afternoon baseball if you watched from the very beginning. But Soriano, 20 pitches into his outing here. Angels have a 4-2 lead in the bottom of the seventh after some early scoring that came from Mike Moustakas. 2-2 pitch, swung on and missed. Down by way of the K goes Rogers, and it's 2 up and 2 down here for Soriano in the seventh. Let's see. So far, a dominant pitching day for the Angels thus far. 5 good innings from Griffin Canning. And now McKinstry will be the batter. He's their leadoff guy, 1 for 3 on the day. The first pitch, breaking ball right on in there for a strike, and it's 0-1. But it's insane right now that the Angels trying to continue their winning ways after picking up a 2 out of 3 series victory against the Pirates over the weekend, which followed up a sweep of the New York Yankees, and then after losing 2 or 3 to the Astros. But 6-3 on that homestand on one of the biggest road trips this franchise has seen. Check swing by McKinstry gets away from Chad Wallach. He's going to have to throw down to first. And it looks like it's going to be back-to-back strikeouts. The call finally comes in, and the throwdown by Wallach is in time. So Soriano, back-to-back strikeouts to end the frame after a ground out. We're through 7 in Detroit, and the Angels still holding a 4-2 lead. Wow. Now the Carl's Jr. commercial will come on, but why not? Let's do a little Instagram story right now to get people watching here. I know there's only 5. I know wasn't a pre-scheduled situation, but Robert checking in. What's up, buddy? Was going to try to watch the game. Yeah, we all tried to watch. I flipped it on a little bit late today, maybe about 10 minutes after first pitch, and I got an alert that Matt Vasgersian was on Instagram Live. I'm like, wait a minute. He's supposed to be broadcasting the game today, and I'm looking. He's like, yeah, the power's out. And I'm like, oh, this is the kind of game we're getting today. This is insane, but let's do this right now here on Instagram. What's up, Instagram world? Dominic Lorenz from Katella Chronicles crashing in on the Heedy Instagram story. We're currently live on YouTube. Yes, because there's technical difficulties on Bally Sports West due to a power outage at Comerica Park. So why not hop on with us right now on the YouTube page and listen to my play-by-play content for the rest of the ball game tonight. Angels up 4-2 going to the 8th. Let's see if they lock it down and get a dub tonight. We'll see you soon. See, that's how it works here. It's the best way. Social media is not good for everything, but social media is good for some things. So if you're here watching the chat or watching the stream, more people are going to be logging on soon once we get these posts out and start getting the attention rolling around here. But the Angels so far so good. 4-2 and going to the top of the 8th. Canning, he's had back-to-back ace-level performances. It's been really great to see a 12 strikeout performance last week and a gutsy 120-pitch performance against the New York Yankees. And then today, 5 innings with 8 punch-outs, allowed 1 run. I think it was 2 runs he allowed. Again, still trying to look at the box score here. Again, there's no replay in this ball game, according to Sam Blum. There is very poor camera angles. It is just one of those wild and wacky games here in Detroit. And Canning did give up 2 runs on 7 hits. And as Mickey Moniak leads off the inning, drives it deep to left. And it's going to be a terrific catch by Akil Baddoo right at the wall in foul territory to rob Moniak of more at bat. And that's out number 1. Good thing about Moniak today, he is 1 for 4 now with that foul out. He did extend his hitting streak to 15 games. So Moniak continuing to stay hot here in the month of July. Hunter Renfroe stepping to the plate, 0 for 3 on the day. Chad Wallach in the hole, Andrew Velasquez after that. I wouldn't be shocked. Andrew Velasquez shockingly 2 for 3 with a run score today. He is one of 3 Angels with a multi-hit game. Moustakas with the 2-hit game, and Escobar with the 2-hit game, and Moustakas with the leader on the day, 2 RBIs. Renfroe gets into that one, but it'll go foul. 0-2. Taking a look at some scores that can affect the Angels going into today. I know right now the Mets with Justin Verlander on the bump are defeating. It's not final yet, but are beating, I should say, the New York Yankees by the score of 6-0. So that's helpful as Renfroe grounds that one off the end of the bat. Baez over to first in time and quickly, 2 up and 2 down once again here in the 8th. So the Mets over Yankees 6-0. Cleveland over Kansas City 5-1. Here's a big one. Top of the 4th, Twins over Mariners by the score of 5-1. Astros leading the Rangers 2-0 in the 3rd. While Boston and Atlanta are just starting to get ready at Fenway Park. They were supposed to start about an hour and a half ago. Rain in the Boston area. So that game is delayed. And then Toronto is at the Dodgers tonight. Dodgers failing to help the Angels last night, losing to the Blue Jays 6-3. But hopefully the Dodgers with Julio Urias on the mound tonight can help the Angels out and pick up a victory over the Toronto Blue Jays. Chad Wallach, 1-1 pitch, 0-2 count. And that one is skied foul back, and it's 1-2. And from the sounds of it right now, it looks like Matt Vasgersian and Mark Gubiza are back on Bally Sports West. While they were on their phones, funny enough, Matt Vasgersian reported as Chad Wallach swings and misses at that one, and there goes the Angels in the top of the 8th. Back-to-back 1-2-3 frames for the Tigers relievers, and we go to the bottom of the 8th, and it's 4-2 Angels still. But Matt Vasgersian had a funny moment where he said that Erica Weston, because, there's no power, she can't do her job, she left the ballpark, went 30 minutes down the road in Detroit to a local Lowe's to pick up multiple generators to see if they could get something working in the truck. And I got the headphone in, but I can hear the TV a little bit. And it looks like Gooby and Matty V were able to get on TV's audio during that Chad Wallach at bat. So I wonder if I think for Halos in the infield tonight, the backup generators may be a part of the Golden Stamos Award tonight. I don't know, but it's hilarious right now. We're going to see what's going on here on the social media channels. There we go. Everything is loaded up. But yeah, the Angels up 4-2 here, live on YouTube. Just been on for about almost 15 minutes. But the reason why I had to pop on, Fernando, in a way, kind of dared me to do it. He's like, why not? Go on to YouTube and play-by-play this game. And that's what we're doing right now. Throughout the whole game thus far, Bally Sports, Angels Bally Sports, and the Tigers Bally Sports, it's not a Bally Sports problem. There is no power in the trucks at Comerica Park. This is a Comerica Park issue. And so they've been remotely calling the game by their cell phones. Matty V called in, and they've been calling the game for the last couple of innings with their cell phones. They do have some feed, but it's very limited. You get behind home plate, you don't really get too many angles right now, so it's funny to say nonetheless. But as we go to the bottom of the 8th, Matt Moore checking on into the ball game. 27 games, a 2.1 ERA, 0.90 whip, and a 1.83 opponent average. So Matt Moore checking in after 2 clean innings from Jose Soriano this evening. I keep saying this afternoon, I think because it's not even 6 o'clock yet. Not even dinner time here in SoCal. As Matt Moore looking to continue the trend of clean innings. As the first pitch is swung on and fouled back to Green, and it's 0-1. But ever since we checked in the air, I told Fernando, I said, I'll go on in the 7th inning. I needed a moment to get the computer ready and get the stream ready. And ever since then, it's been literally clean baseball. 1-2-3, 1-2-3, 1-2-3. So Matt Moore with a pitch high, 1-1. Green today, 1 for 3 with 2 punch outs on the day. Overall batting .310 on the season with 7 home runs and 22 runs batted in. Now Bally Sports West for the Angels is starting to get their graphics back on the air as well, as that one's fouled back, and it's 1-2. Well, we're not going to stop now. We're in the bottom of the 8th. Angels up 4-2. Why not keep this thing going here on YouTube? We'll see how long it can go. But Matt Moore's been a formidable piece in this Angels bullpen before he got injured and since he's been back, as the 1-2 brushes Green back inside, 2-2. Torkelson on deck, Carpenter in the hole, 2, 3, and 4 for the Tigers due up here in the bottom of the 8th. I feel like I'm used to this on the Heedy YouTube page. Normally I have Todd with me, and we're doing it live from the Todd Fox Studios, but a little different today in a surprise kind of role, as that one's fouled back, 2-2. And while we're doing that, as people start streaming in on here, again, not that many views, not expecting too many, but a lot of people can come back and watch this at another time and see the shenanigans that are happening. As the 2-2 misses down low, count runs full, 3-2 to the Tigers center fielder. But this is a huge road trip for the Angels, to say the least. 3 in Detroit, 3 in Toronto, 3 in Atlanta. And that second game in Atlanta that afternoon is the trade deadline. Is that one, for the first time since getting on air, a base hit right back up the middle for the Tigers. So they have a runner on and nobody out here in the bottom of the 8th inning. As Spencer Torkelson will come up 0 for 3 on the day so far, .231 average. But the Angels right now in the driver's seat in this ball game, up 4-2 in the bottom of the 8th inning in game 1 of a big 9-game road trip. 3 in Detroit, 3 in Toronto, 2 teams. Well, maybe not Detroit that they're chasing, but a team, Detroit, kind of like Pittsburgh, that you just have to get on top of and beat early and often in these series. And then you have Toronto this weekend in Toronto. That's the team you're chasing currently in the American League wildcard position. 0-1 to Torkelson, a big rip and a miss, and quickly down in the count, 0-2. But a ground ball double play would be Matt Moore's best friend right now. 4-2 Angel lead in the bottom of the 8th inning. Let's see what happens. The 0-2 pitch, and that one's fouled down the third base line. Count stays 0-2. Yeah, sports news, you're right. The broadcast on Bally Sports West sounded like the 90s. It was phone calls and static, doing Matty V and Mark Gubaza trying to do the best that they can to try to bring this game to us, the fans. And, a lot of people can say what they want right now, but the Angels broadcast team doing the best they can today to make these technical difficulties work. As that one by Torkelson is swung on and missed for out number 1 in the 8th. Thomas checking in. Can you please give me a quick update? What's happening with the other games? Well, I'll give you all that right now, Thomas. Angels currently up 4-2 in the bottom of the 8th against the Detroit Tigers. Other games going on that can affect the American League. Mets are beating the Yankees by the score of 6-0 in the top of the 7th. Cleveland beating Kansas City 5-1 in the 8th. Twins beating the Mariners by the score of 5-1 in the bottom of the 4th. And the Braves and Red Sox are just underway at Fenway Park. No score in the top of the 1st. If you want some games with divisional implications, Astros leading the Rangers 2-0 in the bottom of the 3rd. So there's your American League score recap right now. As the pitch to Carpenter is fouled down the right field line, 0-2. If you want to know how the Angels got their runs today, it was a 2-run double in the first inning by Mike Moustakas. The Tigers battled back, as I get it right here, with a Javi Baez single in the 4th. But then the Angels battled right back. A sac fly from Taylor Ward and an RBI single from Eduardo Escobar to make it 4-1. And then Jake Rogers homered in the bottom of the 5th to make it 4-2 at that point. The 0-2 pitch right on the outside corner, down by way of the K, goes from Matt Moore. Goes the Tigers four-hole hitter Carpenter, the DH today for the Tigers, and that is out number 2, bringing up the right fielder. Again, just getting familiar right now with this Detroit Tigers lineup, looking different than it has in years past. Matt Vierling stepping to the plate, a .270 average with 7 home runs and 26 RBIs this season. and he is 2 for 3 with a run scored today. Silent E saying Dominic's version of the Bally's theme is better than the original. Okay, I might have to bring it back right now. If Matt Moore can get out of this inning, I'll bring it to you right now. Let's see. That one's breaking ball missing down low, 1-1. Thomas saying, so we want the Astros to beat the Rangers or the other way around? That's a good question. Right now, the Astros are only 2 games out of the division. We're 7.5 out of the division. And Houston is currently holding the second wild card spot. So I think it's one of those series where they're playing a 4-game series. To me, best case scenario is they split it because then none of them gain ground on either each other or us. The main goal is we just need to keep winning. So I would say if they play a 4-game series, let them split it because it kind of wipes it away. The 2-1 is skied high into the infield. Third baseman Moustakas is going to call off Wallach in foul territory and make the catch to end the bottom of the 8th. And as promised, Silent E, the Bally Sports theme song. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Bum, 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 dun-dun-dun. There you go. I'm not much of a singer, but you got to have fun with it here. We go to the top of the 9th. It's going to be Velasquez, Rengifo, and of course, our Bally Sports own dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Shohei Ohtani coming up to bat in the top of the 9th inning. So the Angels 3 defensive outs away from picking up the victory here tonight. We're barely approaching the 6 o'clock hour here in Southern California, but the Angels have a 4-2 lead. It's holding strong. So I would be sure after an off day yesterday, Carlos Estevez should be getting ready to go here in the Angels bullpen. Fernando checking in saying Velasquez going yeah here. Book it. Okay. Are you in Detroit? Are you like 10 seconds ahead of us that you already know the future, Fernando? I did this because of you. You dared me to go onto YouTube and do this game. So let's see what happens. If he goes yeah, he would have a bunt single, a home run today. It would be a very wacky day. And I don't know if it'd be a cold day over hell that we would actually give Velasquez a Golden Stamos Award. He would have to do something amazing to do that for us. Silent E saying another bunt single. Who knows? Brian saying thank you, Dominic, for the play-by-play. You're very welcome. I'll give a little shout out, as mentioned already, to Fernando and James. We were all in the chat together, and they said, do it. Go out in there, and while it was sounding like a 90s phone call, go on out, go to YouTube, and start play-by-playing this game. Hey, let's do it. So we're going to the top of the 9th here. There's some graphics coming up for Bally Sports West. So the story that was going on earlier in about the 5th inning when Camion was pitching, Matt Vasgersian said that Erica Weston left the ballpark to go to a local Lowe's that was about 30 minutes away from Comerica Park to pick up some generators. And I guess she got back in time because somehow, some way it's working. But if you're going to stick with us here on the YouTube channel, I thank you guys for doing that. But so far, looking at the Angels box score today, Rengifo 1 for 4 with the single. Looking, Moustakas 2 for 4 with the double and a single and 2 RBIs. Eduardo Escobar 2 for 4 with 2 singles and an RBI. Moniak's 1 for 4. He extended his hit streak to 15 games. And Velasquez has 2 hits on the day. New pitcher on the mound for the Tigers, Chasen Shreve on the bump now for the Tigers. A big lefty that will flip Andrew Velasquez to bat from the right side here to lead off the 9th. And per usual, a big rip and a miss for strike 1. But it's a good time right now to let you guys know that if the Angels pick up a win today, they do themselves a big favor to start off this road trip on a winning way. And speaking of things that win, Carlos Estevez currently in the bullpen right now, warming up for the bottom of the 9th. As the 0-1 misses outside from Shreve, and it's 1-1. But the Angels' big series, night baseball tomorrow in Detroit, then they'll have a day game on Thursday. And again, Patrick Sandoval against former Angel Michael Lorenzen on the bump tomorrow. And then it will be Chase Silseth getting the start Thursday afternoon for the Angels against Matt Manning for the Tigers. 2-1 to Velasquez. Big rip and a miss at that one, and the count draws even 2-2. But the Angels, in a way, with the trade deadline looming just 1 week away from this afternoon, All they can do is focus on winning at this point. The more you win, the greater your chances of doing better in the wild card. And that one's going deep into left, and that one's going to fall just in front of Baddoo in left field. And somehow, some way, I don't know how this is happening, but Andrew Velasquez has a 3-hit game. Oh, boy. A bunt single, a single here in the ninth. I'm taking a look to see where his first hit came from. It was a ground ball double play in the second inning, and his second at bat in the fifth inning, he doubled. So Velasquez is a triple shy, or pardon me, a home run and a triple shy of the cycle. How is this happening? Squid's having a resurgence here in Detroit. Oh me, oh my, this is hilarious. But Rengifo up 1-for-4, and the reason why I'm saying Rengifo here, Rengifo was supposed to bat in the bottom of the order, and Zach Neto was supposed to start today, but just about an hour after the starting lineups went out, they said Zach Neto would be scratched, still with that lower back tightness. So Rengifo moved to the top of the order. Velasquez moves into the shortstop spot, but according to Phil Nevin, once again, Neto should be good to go tomorrow for game 2 of this 3-game set. So we'll see what happens. Rengifo hitting that one the opposite way is going to split the outfielders. Yes, it will, and it will roll to the wall. Velasquez has speed. He'll turn third. He's chugging on home. Rengifo's going to go all the way to third, and it looks like it's going to be an RBI triple, and the Angels get another run, insurance time, and it's 5-2. How about that? The guys I've been ripping on for a while actually contributing in a positive way. It was a hit and run. Velasquez was stealing second, and a beautiful hit ball by Luis Rengifo into no man's land out into the deep right field wall at Comerica Park, and chugging all the way around is Luis Rengifo, getting himself a triple, his second of the season, make it 5-2 Angels now in the top of the ninth. As Shohei steps to the plate, a big rip and a miss for strike one. Again, it's that Paul Rudd meme when he was doing the Hot Ones challenge. Who would have thought? Not me. That's the type of game we're having here for the Angels, and we're having fun doing it. 0-1 pitch to Ohtani, misses inside, 1-1. Oh my God, Squid thinking he's Ken Griffey. That's right, Silent-E. Caesar checking in saying he's yelling at Todd Fox saying all those hits are for you. Hey, besides Griffin Canning's good outing today, as Ohtani swings and misses at that 1-2, we have to be objective here and we have to be honest. We talk about it with Katella Chronicles. We talk about it with Halos in the infield. Our hunkism has realism. You got to have a little realism behind your honkism. And looking at it from an objective perspective, as Ohtani goes down swinging with an ugly swing, not the best day for Shohei Ohtani. He strikes out 0-for-3 with 2 walks and 2 strikeouts, dropping his batting average to .233. Right now, Griffin Canning, definitely a star of the game. 8 strikeouts over 5 innings of work. Moustakas and Escobar each with 2 hits. Moustakas with 2 RBIs. And I hate to say it, Velasquez 3-for-4 with 2 runs scored. He has put himself in a Golden Stamos type of day. And first pitch to Taylor Ward, lined right back up the middle, scoring his Luis Rengifo at another run on the board, and it's 6-2 Halos. And as they flip the scoreboard on Bally Sports West, the Mets have gotten another run on the Yankees, 7-0. So that's good for the Angels. They're chasing the Red Sox. They're chasing the Yankees. They're chasing the Blue Jays. They're chasing everybody in the AL East. As Moustakas will step to the plate. That was Ward's first big hit of the ballgame today. He's now 1-for-4 with 2 RBIs, an RBI single, and a sacrifice fly. So Ward and Moustakas leading the charge today, this middle of the order for them getting it done. Moustakas, 259 average, 9 home runs, 30 RBIs on the season so far. And the 1-0 pitch is swung on and missed, 1-1. But 6 runs on 11 hits, no errors for the Angels. 2 runs, 8 hits, 1 error for the Detroit Tigers. And the Angels looking to add some more on here in the top of the ninth with Ward at first. And Moustakas grounds that one, but right to first baseman. Throw over to second in time for one. The carryover toss back to first in time for a 3-6-3 inning-ending double play. But hey, the Angels get on the board with two more from some unlikely sources. A base hit from Velasquez in the ninth, followed up by a Luis Rengifo RBI triple. Two batters later, Taylor Ward, a base hit up the middle to score Luis Rengifo. And if you can believe that they tack on two more as we go to the bottom of the ninth, Estevez coming in, and the Angels now have a 6-2 lead. But the reason why we're doing this, if you're just checking in right now, what's up, Dylan Ortega? Do you think we get a chance at the third wild card spot, or will it be close? Hey, the Angels have won 5 of their last 6, looking to make it 6 out of their last 7 today. As long as you keep the winning train going, you can only control what you can control, and hopefully you get a little help from everybody else. And so far, so good. The Mets beating the Yankees. Hopefully the Dodgers can beat Toronto tonight, tonight at Dodger Stadium. The Twins are beating the Mariners, who are behind us, and the Red Sox and Braves are playing in Atlanta, in Fenway Park. And Atlanta's been the cream of the crop, the best team in the National League, I should say. And if they can continue doing that way, and the Angels take advantage of this series against Detroit, take advantage of the Blue Jays this weekend in Toronto, I think when we approach the trade deadline next Monday and Tuesday, I think right now the Angels are buyers, but they need to get more wins under their belt to really solidify that. And this could be the series, and as well this weekend, to be the one to do it. Let's see what else. Fernando checking in saying, future Angel Michael Lorenzen on the bump tomorrow. I wonder what Lorenzen will look like in Angel Red. Hey, maybe he'll look like Kike Hernandez in Dodger Blue. The former Dodger Kike Hernandez, who is now a Red Sox, guess what? Gets traded back to the Dodgers this afternoon, so maybe there'll be some symmetry for the Angels. But you know who, Fernando, I'm thinking that the Angels could go out and get here at the trade deadline? If we want a pitcher, he's only going to be a rental. He's a free agent at the end of this year. Blake Snell of the San Diego Padres is somebody I'm circling and really watching right now. He had a rough April, got better in May. His ERA was over 5 in April, over 3 in May, but in June, 0.84, followed up so far in July with 0.43. Give me a guy that has playoff experience, dynamic stuff from the left side. I know the Angel rotation is lefty heavy, but they've balanced it out right now with Griffin Canning and Chase Silseth. Give me some Blake Snell. I'd be interested to see what that can be. Even though I agree, Fernando, I don't see Snell being moved, but he is a free agent at the end of the year. It would be interesting to see if they do, what happens this week for the Padres. I don't know who they're playing. I'll have to look. As Carlos Estevez, my closer, yes, I said it, my closer, checking in, and the first batter he will face will be the former All-Star and World Series champion, Javi Baez, the 1-0, right down the middle at 95 for a strike, and it's 1-1. Looking at the Padres schedule coming up this week, Padres are at home against Pittsburgh, so that should be, quote-unquote, winnable games for them. Check swing by Baez in time, 1-2. And then over the weekend, the San Diego Padres are at home against the Texas Rangers. So that will be very interesting to see, depending on how the Padres do this week. The 1-2 pitch, chopped right back up the middle. Rengifo has it across to first, and Rengifo overthrows it. Baez safe at first, and it pulls first baseman off the bag. And instead of an easy ground ball out, Rengifo giveth and taketh away. Ay. Escobar playing first, but the throw is way off. Escobar tried making the tag, but there was no way that was happening. Rengifo had plenty of time. He just airmails it with a side throw, and the Tigers have a runner on and nobody out on a throwing error by Luis Rengifo. See what I mean? Giveth and taketh away, just like Sunday against the Pirates. Velasquez homers, and then a throwing error leads to a run. Giveth and taketh away. Akil Baddoo will step up 1 for 3, singled back in the second, a 2.11 average this season. And that one's right down the middle for a strike, and the count is quickly 0-2. Best thing from Estevez would be forget about that. You have a 4-run lead. Go out, get Baddoo, get him out, and let's move on. The 0-2 pitch from Carlos Estevez is swung on and missed at 97. Down by way of the K goes Baddoo for out number 1 here in the 9th. Carlos Estevez has been legit at the back end of the bullpen, basically winning the closer role early this season. 42 games pitched, 3-1 with a 2.01 ERA, 40 and a third innings pitched, and he is saving the heck out of Angel baseball games this year. 23 of 23. First pitch now here in the next at bat to Nick Maton, who pinched hit in the 7th inning, fouled back 0-1. He's 0 for 1 on the day. And you nailed it right on the head, Fernando. We need Drury back so bad. Defensively, he took some swings today, some batting cage swings, felt pretty good, as that one's lined over the head of Velasquez, back up the middle to Mickey Moniak, and moving station to station are the Tigers. And it's first and second, 1 out now for Detroit, as Rogers, who's 1 for 3 on the day, steps to the plate. So right now, those 2 runs from Velasquez and Rengifo are really proven to be very helpful right now to the Angels. Here we go. This is big time right now. Best way to do it, ground ball double play, 6-4-3, get the game over with, and we can go home, light that baby up happy today. Of course, Heedy fans, Todd will be bringing you the post-game show later on tonight, so you're going to want to tune into the Halos in the Infield YouTube page for that. That's going to be fun. As soon as this game ends, I'll do a quick little wrap-up as we jumped on here in the 7th inning. Angels up 6-2, 2 on, 1 out in the bottom of the 9th inning. And the 0-1 pitch, check swing. Did he go? No, he didn't, says the first base umpire. Thought he did for a minute. And the count's 1-1. But the Angels looking to make it 2 in a row with a win today and make it 6 out of their last 7 in the win column, the 1-1. And that one's down and in, 2-1. Estevez needs to calm himself down a little bit. Just settle in here. And yes, that is correct. Also, with the post-game show, check on the most recent, and by most recent, I mean 7 hours ago. Rogers lines that one back up the middle, and it looks like Detroit's going to get a run. Baez will round third and come home, and Detroit has gotten a run here in the bottom of the 9th. It's now 6-3, and the tying run will step to the plate for the Tigers, and 1 out. So see what happens. One throwing error wrecks a whole inning right now in mentality for Carlos Estevez. What should have been back-to-back outs changes the whole mentality, and Rengifo forgets how to play second, and Baez, that throwing error, comes back to bite Rengifo, and the Tigers trying to rally here in the 9th, and this is exactly what the Angels do not need right now. Things like this from players like Rengifo and Velasquez will make you go crazy. It's giveth one inning and taketh the other, and hopefully a throwing error will not inhibit Estevez from locking down this game. As Zach McKinstry, the leadoff batter, will step to the plate here for the Tigers. 2 on, 1 out, bottom of the 9th. Angels now up 6-3. Those 2 runs in the 9th getting really tantalizing, as that one's fouled back 0-1. But as I was mentioning before, the RBI base hit. Don't forget, Halos in the Infield just posted a very new podcast episode recapping the Pirates series with our good friends Urinating Tree, which is always good to have them on, as that one's fouled back 0-2. That episode dropped, about 7 or 8 hours ago, so check that one out anywhere you get your podcast and on YouTube. So go listen to the episode. And for more podcast fun, myself, Katella Chronicles, and my co-host David Goodkind, we're going to have Fernando on our podcast. We're going to record it tomorrow night as the 0-2 pitch is skied foul, count stays 0-2. And we're going to record a podcast tomorrow talking all things Angels, what's been happening over the last week and a half, and also what to expect from the trade deadline. So follow us on Katella Chronicles and Halos in the Infield. Message us. Let us know what you think could be happening. Maybe some of your comments might make the podcast episode that myself, David Goodkind, and Fernando are going to record tomorrow night. Let's see. Can Estevez pull off the strikeout against McKinstry? 0-2 pitch, and that one's going to run high, 1-2. It's one of those games, technical difficulties all game long. And now the Angels get a little run support, have given up a run here in the bottom of the ninth. The Tigers have the tying run at the plate. The 1-2 pitch, swung on and missed at 90 miles an hour. Taking a little something off that was Carlos Estevez, and the Angels are 1 out away from locking it down. And there is a joke going on in the chat right now. You can't have a closer come out in a 4-run game. You know, saves are typically 3 runs or less. So maybe Estevez needed to give up a run to get that 24th save. We can joke about it once the game goes final and in the Angels' favor. But Riley Green will step to the plate. First pitch, right on in there at 88, 0-1. Need that strikeout. Got it. Green so far today, 2 for 4 with 2 singles. But 1 out away from locking it down, picking up 2 wins in a row, dating back from Sunday's win against the Pirates. And that one is driven deep, and that one's into right field and into the corner. 1 run will come in to make it 6-4. Will a second run come in? And yes, it won't. Valley Sports is a little slow right now. The trail runner at first did not come in. It's now 6-4. Runners at second and third, a double from Riley Green. And now the Tigers are going to bring up the winning run to the plate in Spencer Torkelson. See what one throwing error freaking does. Renjifo, he gets an RBI triple in the ninth, then decides to throw away a ball and give free runners to the Tigers. Baseball is a game of momentum. Gosh, that bugs me. So now Estevez has to get Torkelson, and that one's high and in for a ball, and it's 1-0. This is not what we need. Unfortunately, a base hit would tie this game. Let's not go into an extra innings, shall we? Can we just win it and relax? The 1-0. That one's in there for a strike, 1-1. But we're Angel fans. Why the heck do we need to relax? They don't give us any relaxing moments. It's always tough. Bring on the Pepto-Bismol. Let's go. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 on, 2 out in a 6-4 game. The pitch. And that one is skied into center. Deep into center to the wall track. And Moniak can't catch it. He tried football catching it. It drops and goes over the wall. It's a ground rule double. And this game is tied. Oh my God. Mickey Moniak, what are you thinking? He doesn't know how to catch a ball. He tried basket catching it, and it doesn't work, and it bounces over the wall, and this game is tied. Oh, my God. Moniak tried backpedaling, right? A catchable ball, and he doesn't even catch it. Unbelievable. Come on. A 4-run lead in the ninth. Renjifo can't throw. Now Moniak can't catch a ball, and we're tied at 6. And if the Angels want to win this, we have to go to extra innings. So much for giving Canning a good win tonight. This is absolutely disgusting. And for the first time this season, Carlos Estevez has blown a save opportunity. When everybody is losing today, Mets are beating the Yankees, Seattle's losing, Boston hopefully loses to Atlanta, and the Angels blow a 4-run lead in the bottom of the ninth, and we're tied at 6. This is how you blow yourself out of wild card contention, with moments and games like this. This is frustrating. Oh my goodness gracious. This is absolutely ridiculous. Moniak forgets how to play center, and Rengifo can't throw to first. And I hate to say that Moniak has been so fantastic with us this year. Nothing against him. As they intentionally walk the runner, and there's now runners at first and second, 2 outs for Vierling. They walked Carpenter to have 2 on and 2 out, the 0-1, and that one's fouled, 0-2. What did I say a moment ago about Pepto-Bismol? A ball dead center field. Why are you trying to basket catch it? I don't understand Mickey Moniak's theory. And I love Mickey Moniak. We all love Mickey Moniak. But I know you're backpedaling like a football player, but I don't know if he had a bad read on the ball and he didn't get there in time, but just a horrible time to have basically an F-up moment. The 0-2 from Estevez, and that's right down the middle, strike 3, and we go to the 10th inning in Detroit. Unbelievable. The Angels enter the 9th up 6-2 and leave it tied at 6 into the 10th inning. Tell me how you really feel. I'm frustrated. Rengifo giveth and taketh away. I get it. Estevez gives up a couple runs, but 2 bonehead defensive plays. Rengifo not throwing to second, not throwing to first, giving Detroit some momentum. And then I'm sorry, we all love Moniak, but what is with the basket attempt catch? Frustrating. I know the game's not over, but this is unbelievable that the Angels have a 4-run lead and potentially now can blow this game in what we should be celebrating a light that baby up victory right now. If it was 6-3, fine. If it was 6-4, fine. But a horrible way to blow this game in the 9th inning, and the first save blown for Carlos Estevez this season. Unbelievable. Wow. And that's true grinding, true podcast, or true crime. I thought Nevin was scared of defense killing us. So why isn't Stefanik into the ballgame right now instead of Rengifo at second? Great point. If Stefanik's so bad at defense, you tell me Stefanik can't make that play thrown from second to first? I think he can make that play easily in his sleep. So don't give me this crap that Velasquez is here for defense, even though that has nothing to do with Velasquez. Oddly enough, Velasquez 3 for 4 with 2 runs scored and no errors today, knock on wood. Rengifo today is the dummy. Knock on wood. So a tough way for Estevez to go, but the bullpen's going to have to prove good tonight. A righty coming in out of the pen for the Tigers. As we enter the 10th, we'll have a runner at second. Nobody out per the extra inning rules. Alex Lang into the ballgame, a 3.98 ERA in 41 games with the Tigers this season. Mike Moustakas will be the runner at second base. Eduardo Escobar will be the batter. You know, Phil Nevin benched Rengifo a couple weeks ago for lack of effort. I'd bench him for lack of effort throwing that ball to second, but unfortunately he has multiple hits today and an RBI. So typical Phil Nevin will probably not pull him out of this game. Well, Escobar's up 2 for 4. Got to put it in the pass and go win this ball game now as the first pitch hits the outside corner, 0-1. Oh, what a 4-run lead is wiped away literally within 5 minutes. Unbelievable. The 0-1 to Escobar. And he chops that one on the right side. Second baseman will pick it up, go to first in time, but it moves Moustakas over to third base. So it acts like a sacrifice bunt. And that'll bring up Mickey Moniak to the plate with a runner at third. And this would be a perfect time to get revenge. Redeem yourself, Mickey Moniak. You giveth with a 15-game hitting streak getting extended today. Taketh away with dropping a fly ball to end the game. Now get the Angels the lead back as he swings and misses 0-1. A catchable ball, and I know Moniak's hating himself for that one. I know he'll take full responsibility. But channel all that into at least a sacrifice fly, the 0-1. He grounds it to first, and it's through down the right field line. Moustakas scores. And it looks like Moniak's going to go to second, safe with an RBI double. He redeems himself, and the Angels are on the board. It's 7-6. See? Yelling at Moniak works. Behind the honkism is some realism. Boy, oh boy. Torkelson at first could not dive and get that ball. And as we say here at Katella Chronicles and Halos in the Infield, we put realism behind our honkism, and stealing third with a wild pitch is Moniak, and he's now at third base with Renfroe at the plate. So the realism is putting these guys in their place for some bonehead plays in the bottom of the ninth. But our honkism says he just gave us the RBI double to give us the lead. So now, who's going to come in the ninth and try to save this game? They've used Soriano, they've used Moore, and they've used Estevez. And that one's in the dirt, nearly gets away 2-0. Boy, it's been a good 15 minutes. Wow. The emotions are going crazy here, and I'll try to get to some comments here. Baby Rob saying, need the Angels win for $500. Well, Rob, good luck. I hope you get it. The 2-0, foul down the third base line. If you win, you want to share? I'll take a share. Even if I'll take $50 at 500. I'll take it for calling this game right now. After all the technical difficulties Bally Sports and Comerica Park has had. Renfroe 0 for 4. He could redeem himself here. And that one spiked in the dirt, but a nice block by Rogers. The back pick to third. And Moniak is picked off. Oh my gosh! Moniak took 2 extra steps because he thought the ball got away. And Rogers throws it back to third in time to pick off Moniak. So an insurance run is going to get picked off. There's one out with a runner. Why are we trying? The ball is in front of him, Moniak. Stay at third. And it's already been said today, with all the power problems at Comerica Park, there is no replay system at Comerica Park tonight. So even if Moniak was safe, they can't challenge it. It'd have to be a crew chief review. So an insurance run standing at third is going to get wiped away. Moniak's in the dugout looking to see if a crew chief review will happen. It will not. And he has been picked off. Oh, no, there is. There is going to be a crew chief review. And maybe the power got back at Comerica Park because the home plate umpire and the third base umpire are reviewing this. Did he get under the tag? I do not think so. I think Moniak's out by a decent amount. But it's the 10th inning. There's just, again, where is the third base coach, Bill Hasselman, to say, get back, don't go? There should have been a sign at the beginning of the at-bat to say, do not take any extra steps off the bag unless the ball is so far wild pitched that you are guaranteed to get home. Once again, poor managing and coaching from this Angels staff. Are you freaking kidding me? Hunter Renfroe now with nobody on and 2 out, the 3-1 pitch. And that one is ball 4. We could have runners on the corners and 2 outs. But bonehead running is going to ruin this inning. As Matt Theis will pinch hit here for Chad Wallach. But if you're just checking us out here on the YouTube page for Halos in the Infield, we came on in the 7th inning due to power issues on Bally Sports West. So we thought we'd give you the play-by-play. Power has come back on Bally Sports West, so you can hear Matt Vasgersian and Gooby. But the Angels had a 6-2 lead going to the bottom of the 9th. Carlos Estevez, as well as some poor defensive plays, blow the save, tie the game at 6. The Angels have gotten a run in the top of the 10th on an RBI double by Mickey Moniak, 7-6, and they just flashed the bullpen. Aaron Loop is warming up in the bullpen. The 0-1 to Theis. And that one gets away from Rogers, but Renfroe is not a runner. He'll stay at first. What Moniak should have done at third. But it could be runners at the corners and 1 out instead of 1 on and 2 out. So here comes Theis looking to try to do some damage here. The 1-1, and that one's going to hit the outside corner, 1-2. Silent E saying, I have a meeting in 4 minutes. Can we end this game? Yeah, that's not happening right now. We still got to go to the bottom of the 10th. Chris M. Bonehead plays. Exactly. Rengifo forgetting how to throw to second. Moniak forgetting how to play catch in the outfield. And forgetting how to basically run at third base. And knowing our fearless leader, Phil Philosophy Nevin, I guarantee you Mickey Moniak with a day off tomorrow. He won't bench Velasquez or Rengifo, but he'll probably bench Moniak tomorrow for 2 bonehead plays tonight. Especially when the Angels don't have a plethora of outfielders. The 2-2. Theis chops that one foul. That count stays 2-2. Sports news, you're right. Could have bases, could have runners on the corners if 1 out if Moniak does not get picked off. Correct. Dylan Ortega, do we even deserve this win anymore? Yes, we do. I don't want to start talking like that. Even though we make bonehead plays, guess what? We have a 1-run lead in the 10th inning. We need 3 outs to get it done. And Theis will strike out looking to end the frame, and that will do it. So the Angels get a run on an RBI single by RBI double by Mickey Moniak. We go to the bottom of the 10th. The Tigers will start with a runner at second, and it looks like Aaron Loop is coming out of the bullpen looking to pick up this victory. Need 3 outs. This was a game going to the bottom of the 9th. The Angels had a 4-run lead after getting 2 runs in the top of the 9th on an RBI triple from Luis Rengifo and a base hit from Taylor Ward. It changed in a heartbeat. The Tigers had back-to-back RBI singles, and then a misplay by Moniak in center leads to a ground rule double to tie the game. And then it was 6-6. Moniak RBI double down the right field line in the 10th to make it 7-6. And after a boneheaded base running play, we go to the bottom of the 10th. Angels clinging to a 7-6 lead. Cesar Lopez, yes, third base coach needs to be gone. Bill Hasselman, he is not the third base coach that we need. Let's see what happens. The chair with James Gonzalez saying, okay, we'll try it again, ... Let's see if we can get 3 outs and get the job done. Oh, boy. Come on. The Angels started this game at 3:40 p.m., and based on how we were doing in the top of the 9th, I thought I'd be eating dinner by now and celebrating an Angels win. But no, we got to put dinner on hold. We got to put dinner on hold until the Angels can win this game. My goodness gracious. Christine Patton coming on saying 100% grinding. Yes, we're grinding out this victory tonight. The broadcast team is having to grind out the power outage. The Angels having to grind out a blown save situation today. Jose saying, I'm so scared, bro. You know, I'm a little scared too. It's just, nothing comes easy to the Angels sometimes. Gosh. And with the trade deadline looming a week away, the Angels have won 5 of their last 6. Looking to make it 6 of 7 and really start this road trip on a right path. And the 9th inning didn't look good, but, as we always say, winning cures all. And if the Angels can shut down, get 3 outs, and win this game 7-6, I'm not going to be happy about the 9th inning, but I'll get over it because at the end of the day, it's a W. But a runner at second, nobody out. Javi Baez, the batter that led off the top of the bottom of the 9th, reaching on a Luis Rengifo throwing error. We'll start things off. Let's see what happens. Here we go. Let's all take a collective deep breath in and deep breath out. Let's see what happens. Aaron Loop coming into the ball game. So far, Canning went 5 innings, gave up 2 runs with 8 strikeouts, was in line for the victory. Soriano had 2 clean innings. Matt Moore had a clean 8th. First pitch, and that one's lined to short. Velasquez picks it up, and he has a crappy throw to first, but Escobar picks it. He 2-hops it to first as if he's a T-ball little leaguer. Oh, my God. Can Stefanik play defense, please? Phil Nevin has said time and time again, Velasquez and Rengifo are here late in games for defense. And right now, Velasquez gets the out barely. Thank you to Escobar. A little leaguer could have made a better throw, but they get the out nonetheless. Yes, Zach Neto is grinding. Yes. Hopefully he's back in the starting lineup tomorrow. He was out because of that lower back soreness, but he wants to be back in that lineup tomorrow, and that's the goal for the Angels. Pinch hitter Andy Ibanez stepping in. 0-1. Skies that one foul. 0-2. Angels 4.5 games out of the wild card right now, but they could get some help if they win themselves. The Yankees are losing to the Mets. The Mariners are losing to the Twins. Red Sox are winning to the Braves, but it's very early on at Fenway. The 0-2. Check swing did not go, and it's 1-2. Astros leading the Rangers 2-1 at Minute Maid Park. Oh, boy. Well, we came onto the air in the 7th, and it was very smooth coasting until the 9th inning where the Angels scored twice. And then it's been all hell's bells since. The 1-2. Big rip and a miss from Ibanez. 2 gone. And the Angels are 1 out away from locking down a 7-6 win that maybe should have been 6-2, but hoping for the best. Thomas Chin checking in saying the disgusting baseball. I love Angels, but it's not a champion team. Hey, you know, championship teams aren't perfect all the time, and the Angels are far from perfect. They got work to do, and work can be done, and there's still room to grow, especially with the trade deadline coming up next week. Eric Haas pinch hitting for the Tigers. First pitch swung on and missed, 0-1. Carlos Estevez looking on. Oddly enough, the 0-1, big rip and a miss, 0-2. Oddly enough, if the Angels lock it down right here, Estevez wouldn't get the save. He'd get the win, and Loop would get the save. So Carlos Estevez could get something positive out of this at the end. Let's see. Can he lock it down, the 0-2 to Haas? And that's lined foul. Let's not hit it the other way. Just strike him out and end this sucker. Let's go. I want a happy Tuesday. Let's go. 2 for Tuesday. Runner at second, 2 outs, 0-2 count to the pinch hitter, Eric Haas. Angels up 7-6. Aaron Loop looking to shut it down here in the 9th. Don't forget to check in the Todd Fox postgame show later tonight. The 0-2 pitch, and that one's popped foul. Whew! It's getting spicy here. Grinding True Crime coming in and saying we used Estevez in a non-save situation. That's why his mindset was thrown off. There could be a case to say that. Defense didn't help him out. Could be another case to the scenario. The 0-2 to Haas. And that's line down the left field, line foul. Breathe in and breathe out once again. 2 errors were not Estevez's fault in the 9th inning. He had to bounce back from it. Oddly enough, Loop has been decent. Yes, he has been. I'm not going to mention his stats right now. I don't want to jinx anything. Let's lock down this game first. The 0-2. Bam! Swung on and missed. Light that baby up. I know Loop's in the game, but we can point to the bullpen and chop it down. And the Angels win a heart-jerking, crazy, nerve-wracking, ball-busting, Pepto-Bismol type of Tuesday night game. 7-6 in 10 innings against Detroit. Let's freaking go! Mickey Moniak, oddly enough, is the star of this game because he gets the winning run in. His mental capacity and defensive capacity are Nacho Night Award winners, but somehow, some way, Mickey Moniak is the star of this game. Loop shuts it down, pick up a save, put your Kabuta on, and the Angels win. Holy shit. Santa Maria, as Matt Vasgersian would say for a home run. Santa Maria, we're on the board. And I'll talk about Aaron Loop for a minute. I wanted to wait. Is Loop a hero? Yes, he is. Loop 1-2 with a 4.88 ERA this year. But if you look around his last 15 games, he's got a 3.14 ERA. He's given up 4 earned runs in his last 7 games, but I'm going to make this very clear. All 4 of those earned runs were in that Friday game against the Dodgers where Velasquez and Ward had errors that contributed to those 4 runs. If you take it away, Loop has been one of our best or better bullpen arms over the last month, or basically since the end of May when he came back from the injured list. So Loop is looking like primetime Loop that we saw back in April and May of last season. So great that he is being into form. But player of the game tonight for sure, Mike Moustakas, 2 for 5, had a 2-run double in the first inning to get the Angels going. You can praise Griffin Canning, who went 5 innings, 2 runs, 8 strikeouts, and in a very, very weird 9th and 10th inning, you got to praise Mickey Moniak a little bit because he ends up driving in the game-winning run in the 10th inning to score Mike Moustakas from second base. Todd Fox is going to have a big post-game show tonight. He's going to have a fun time talking about this. I'll break it down a little bit for you here because guess what? It's Tuesday. Angels win. I'm hungry. Dinner's on the stove. We're getting ready to eat. So let's get you right now what we got here in Detroit for game 1 of this 3-game series and first game of a 9-game road trip. I got to take a breath here for a second. You guys have been tuning on in. Thank you guys for tuning in for the last hour here from, I guess, my home studio at home watching the Angels and Tigers game. We started off this stream in the top of the 7th inning because Bally Sports had been out of power all game, primarily due to power issues at Comerica Park for the Tigers broadcast and the Angels broadcast. So Gooby and Matt Vasgersian were literally calling off their phones and checking in to the broadcast team to put their voices on air. So Fernando of Halos in the Infield dared me to go onto the YouTube stream and call this game. And boy, I'm happy I did. For a moment in the 9th, I was pissed that I did. And now I'm happy I did at the end of the day. So cheers to Fernando. He gets a Golden Stamos for daring me to do this today. But let's take a look at the summary for today's game. Top of the first inning, as I'm almost spelling stuff here on my little broadcast table. Boy, it's that type of day here on a Tuesday. Griffin Canning against Eduardo Rodriguez was the matchup here when we started this game at 3:40 p.m. live from Comerica Park. And it started off very well for the Angels. Mike Moustakas picking up his 9th double of the season, scoring in Luis Rengifo and Shohei Ohtani. 2-0 Angels after the top of the first inning. Griffin Canning was cruising through 3 innings, but it wasn't until the bottom of the 4th when the Tigers got on for the first time today on the board via a Javi Baez RBI single. 2-1 Angels after 4. But right after the 4th, the Angels got on the board. A sacrifice fly by Taylor Ward scoring in Andrew Velasquez. And Eduardo Escobar picking up an RBI single, scoring in Shohei Ohtani. 4-1 Angels after the top of the 5th inning. The Tigers would fight back in the bottom of the 5th with a solo home run from Jake Rogers, 4-2. And then we jumped on in the 7th inning. Clean 7th, clean 8th. We go to the 9th, and we get some scoring. Luis Rengifo, an RBI triple in a right center, scores Andrew Velasquez, 5-2 Angels. And then Taylor Ward, his second RBI of the day with an RBI single, scoring Luis Rengifo. And at the time, 6-2 Angels, a 4-run lead. Carlos Estevez coming into the game looking for his 24th save. But who would have thought we would have had to clinch our cheeks a little bit because it got crazy in the 9th. Jake Rogers, after a throwing error from Luis Rengifo and a base hit, an RBI single from Jake Rogers made it 6-3. Then Riley Green doubled into right field to make it 6-4. And then Spencer Torkelson hits a ground rule double into center field as Mickey Moniak runs back to the wall, tries basket catching it, and misses it. It bounces over the wall, and we're tied at 6. And all of us here on the stream were flipping the freak out. In the 10th, though, with Mike Moustakas standing at 3rd after Eduardo Escobar moved him over with a ground ball to second. Mickey Moniak gets his 14th double of the year down the right field line and ends up driving in the game-winning run, 7-6. He had a base-running blender that knocked him out, but oddly enough, it's Aaron Loop-de-Loop, skip to my loop. gets it done in the ninth, shuts things down. How did he do it? I will tell you, because I have all the plays here on my phone. In the bottom of the 10th, Javi Baez grounded out to Andrew Velasquez. Then back-to-back strikeouts of back-to-back pinch hitters. Andy Ibanez swinging and Eric Haas swinging on a foul tip. Light that baby up as the Angels win their second in a row, 6 out of their last 7. And hopefully they get some help today because the Mets are beating the Yankees. Hopefully the Dodgers can beat the Toronto Blue Jays tonight. Pardon me. The Twins are beating the Mariners. And let's hope, again, for the Atlanta Braves to beat the Boston Red Sox. Right now it's 2-1 Red Sox in the bottom of the second from Fenway Park. I know Bally Sports West. Yes, that Bally Sports West. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Ba-dun-dun-dun-dun. Is going to praise the Angel offense today and probably disregard the throwing error by Rengifo and Moniak. And I know I said earlier, winning cures all. But that bottom of the ninth inning for the Angels, erase it from your memory. Forget it even happened because you need to enjoy this victory and just keep the winning ways going. That's what they got to do. Final score tonight, Angels 7, Tigers 6. 7 runs, 12 hits, 1 error for the Angels. 6 runs, 12 hits, 1 error for the Tigers. Oddly enough, Carlos Estevez gets the win tonight. He's now 4-1 on the season and lowers his ERA to 1.98. The loss goes to Lang. He's 5-3. And the save for the first time this year is Aaron Loup picking up save number 1 on his 2023 campaign. Boy, what a day it is. The Angels improved to 52-49. The Tigers fall to 46-55. And what looked to be a butt-clinching ninth inning, the Angels find a way to get the victory in this one and squeeze out the life out of the Detroit Tigers. Whew. Tomorrow's not going to be easy as well. The Tigers have been a better team this year, and nothing's for granted as Patrick Sandoval will take the hill against his former teammate and Cal State Fullerton alum, Michael Lorenzen. Lorenzen talked to the Angels media today, and he said the Angels and himself had talked about an extension at the end of last season, and they were trying to find some mutual ways to get together. But at the end of the day, the likeness was there, but the contract talks were not. And that's what forced Michael Lorenzen to go to Detroit, and he's had an all-star caliber season. But Patrick Sandoval, 5-7 with a 4.16 ERA, will go against Michael Lorenzen, who's 5-6 with a 3.49 ERA. And fun fact about Michael Lorenzen, he has not allowed an earned run in the last 21 1/3 innings pitched. So the Angels are going to have their hands full of Michael Lorenzen tomorrow at 3:40 p.m. first pitch against the Detroit Tigers. But before I let you go tonight, we'll get to some more comments. Let me pick some players of the game. It looks like it will be from the box score today. Of course, Mike Moustakas gets a vote today. He's 2 for 5 with 2 RBIs and ends up scoring the game-winning run. He also scored the first 2 runs of the game on the RBI double. I'll give some love to Eduardo Escobar. He went 2 for 5 with an RBI. Taylor Ward, 1 for 4 with 2 RBIs. And oddly enough, Moniak gets some love for the game-winning double. Even though his defense and base running was not great, he'll get some love for driving in the game-winning hit. And I hate to say it, I really hate to say this one, but going 3 for 4 with 2 runs scored, you got to give some love. I can't believe I'm saying this. To Squid, Andrew Velasquez, 3 for 4 with 2 runs scored. Without his hit and runs scored in the top of the ninth, the Angels probably lose this game. But Velasquez gets some love. And on the pitching side of things, Soriano gets some love with 2 shutout innings. How can you leave off Griffin Canning? 8 punch-outs in 5 innings. And, of course, skip to my Loop. Aaron Loup gets some love with a shutout for him. So there's a lot to love from this game when you extract the ninth inning and forget that it even happened. Estevez gives up 4 runs, all of them unearned. So his ERA goes untouched. If you take out the ninth inning, this was a very, very good game for the Angels today. Pitching was great. Canning was on his game. Canning in the last 10 and 2/3 innings, he has had 20 strikeouts. So great game. He lowers his ERA to 4.46, and there's a lot to love from this Angel game today. Let me cruise through some of the comments before we jump out of here because there's some Italian sausage rolling in the oven, and I'm excited to celebrate the Italian heritage and the Angels win today because we can light it up. Let's see. Dylan Ortega saying, light that baby up. Still wasn't pretty, but it's a win nonetheless. You are absolutely correct. Fernando checking in saying, thanks for the coverage, Dominic. We'll see you tomorrow. That is absolutely correct. If you haven't already today, Halos in the Infield dropped their latest podcast recapping the Pittsburgh Pirates series with our good buddy who's a Pirates fan, Urinating Tree. That was a fun podcast. So go check that one out wherever you get your podcast. You can get it right here on YouTube, right here on the Halos in the Infield YouTube page. And then tomorrow, for myself and my co-host on Katella Chronicles, David Goodkind, tomorrow night we are going to be recording a podcast with Fernando talking about the Tigers series, a little bit about the last homestand, and what to expect from the trade deadline next Tuesday. Will the Angels be buyers? Will they be sellers? Right now, the Angels are buyers. They've won 6 of their last 7. They are gaining ground in the American League wildcard race if they can get a little help. But as always, winning cures everything. Looking at some more comments, Cesar Lopez saying, I need to take a cold shower. This one was too much. I second that motion. I will take a cold shower tonight because we need to erase our minds of that bottom of the 9th inning. Brad's a Beast 1 says, light it up. Loop should have been in the 9th philosophy. Yeah, to a certain degree, Loop should have been in the 9th inning since it wasn't a safe situation. But Estevez got to get the job done. He did get the job somewhat done, but defense did not help him out. It was just a mixed bag and a bad combination of things. You know what? If I'm the Angels, get that type of 9th inning out of your system tonight in a victory against a bad Tigers team rather than do it this weekend in Detroit or in Atlanta next week or in games when we come back. The next homestand, the Angels have the Mariners and the Giants, 2 tough teams. So get it out of your system now and win the game. And at the end of the day, winning. That's right, winning. By winning, Angels get the victory tonight. Chris M. That's right. Squid used all his tentacles tonight. He went 3 for 4 with 2 runs scored and oddly enough did not have an error. How about that? Jack Chandler, Loop saves the Angels season. Hey, in a way, I'm going to give Loop some love. He has been fantastic out of the bullpen since returning from the IL back at the end of May. He's really only had 2 bad games, and one of those bad games, he got charged 4 earned runs against the Dodgers, and it was because of errors that weren't listed as errors from Velasquez and Taylor Ward. Todd and I called that game on the live stream, and so Loop's ERA is 4.71 this season. Honestly, it probably should be in the low to mid 3s. No doubt about it. Loop, this is a quote from Aaron Loop when he went on the IL in May. For the last year, I've been pitching like a bitch. That is an absolute direct quote from Aaron Loop. And ever since he called himself a bitch, went on the IL and got healthy, he has been tough as nails on the bump. So I am all here for Loop redemption season. I'm all for it. But it's been great to be with you here on the Halos in the Infield YouTube page. I popped on around the 7th inning because Bally Sports had a power outage. Comerica Park had a power outage in the trucks. So Matt Vasgersian and Mark Gubaza were having to call their game. They had a phone in to Bally Sports, and it sounded like an old 80s, 90s broadcast, just static. It was nasty. Fernando dared me to come on here and call the play-by-play coverage, and guess what? A man takes a dare. I go on here, and guess what? It was tense, but we light that baby up once again. The Angels have won 6 of their last 7. The reverse hat won it in the 10th. I can't believe it happened again. But it was good to be on here. It was good to be on air in a pinch hit situation in my living room watching the game with you, the fans. We got some good viewership. Again, it wasn't planned that way, but it was absolutely fun to be on with you guys, the fans here at Halos in the Infield. But again, I'm Dominic Lorenz from Katella Chronicles. You can follow us. We are under the Halos in the Infield tree. We bring you everything Angels and Anaheim Ducks hockey related. You can find us on Instagram and Twitter at Katella_CHRON. And you can check us out on our website, katellachronicles.wordpress.com. Our latest blog post that I wrote is about the Angels youth movement. Zach Neto, Logan O'Hoppe, Mickey Moniak, and many, many others. So go out. If you like the Angels youth, go out to our website and read that article and tell us why you love the Angels youth movement as much as we do. And don't forget to follow Halos in the Infield everywhere they are at: Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Spotify. Check out their latest podcast, recapping the Pittsburgh Pirates series with our buddy, our Pirates friend, Urinating Tree. And then, as mentioned already, myself, my podcast co-host for Katella Chronicles, David Goodkind, and Fernando from Halos in the Infield are recording a podcast tomorrow night that will probably go out after the Angels day game on Thursday against the Tigers. And it's going to be all about this Tiger series, the last homestand, and of course, the trade deadline coming up. Will Ohtani stay or will he go? As of right now, they've won 6 of 7. This is keep Ohtani time. The Angels are going for that wild card spot, and this is what the Angels need. Angels need to be buyers, just like in sync. Buy. That's what the Angels need. They need to buy as much as they can at the trade deadline. But don't forget, Halos in the Infield fans, Todd will be coming on in a little while to do the Todd Fox post-game show. He'll recap all the craziness that happened today. He'll give you the Stamos Award, the Nacho Night Award, and all the commentary. I'm pretty sure he's going to be taking some calls as well. He'll get a little fired up about that bottom of the ninth that didn't go the Angels' way like it should have. But hey, at the end of the day, the Angels pick up a 7-6 victory over the Detroit Tigers. They improved to 52-49 on the season. We'll see what happens with some other games before I leave you tonight. Let's get you some score updates with regards to the American League wildcard race. Mets lead the Yankees in the top of the ninth, 7-3. Boston leads the Braves 2-1 in the third. Twins lead the Mariners 6-2 in the eighth. Astros lead the Rangers 4-1 in the seventh. And last but not least, Blue Jays and Dodgers getting ready to go from Dodger Stadium. Dodgers could use a victory tonight and help us out because that means we could gain a game in the wild card standings. Julio Urias on the mound for the Dodgers tonight. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully scores go our way. Don't forget, game 2 of this 3-game set between the Angels and Tigers is on its way tomorrow, 3:40. First pitch, Patrick Sandoval against our good old buddy, Michael Lorenzen. We always wish Michael Lorenzen the best, but tomorrow and this whole series against the Tigers, no, he is an enemy. Patrick Sandoval needs to pitch like he did last week against the New York Yankees, and the bats need to continue to get hot and continue the winning ways because right now the Angels have won 2 in a row and looking to make it an even bigger winning streak tomorrow. But by winning, the Angels win tonight 7-6. Estevez gets the win. The loss goes to Lang. The save goes to Loop. And it was extra innings tonight. It was a little tense, but the Angels get the job done by the final of 7-6. This is where I will say sayonara and good night. I will tip my cap to you, the Halos in the Infield and Katella Chronicles fans. Again, follow Katella Chronicles Instagram, Twitter, and our website. Same thing for Halos in the Infield, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, everywhere else. We go together like peas and carrots. And as always, we have our honkism, but with some realism. That's what it's about. We got to have our honkism, and we got to love this win. But we got to be a little critiquey off the bad ninth inning and got to be a little real with ourselves. But again, winning cures all. Good to see everybody in the chat. R. Martinez, good to see you. We want both Texas teams to lose, of course. We want to win. Angels will go undefeated from here on out and win the World Series. We are taking New York, then Boston, then Houston, then Texas. Have that mentality. It's a little honkish, beep, beep. But hey, every win matters. And perfectly said, Eric Ward, winning. That's the theme tonight, winning. It doesn't matter how it happens right now. From now until the end of the year, the Angels just need to win. You win, you control your own fate. Right now, the Angels need to get a little help from the teams above them, like the Red Sox, Yankees, Blue Jays. Mariners are behind them, but the Mariners can lose. All those teams that the Angels are chasing, if we can get a little help with them losing and a combo us of winning, this is what's going to really help the Angels as we approach the deadline and, of course, the playoffs in August and September. But for now, I'm Don McLaurin from Katella Chronicles saying cheers to your Tuesday night. As mentioned, Todd Fox will be coming on in a little while for the postgame show. Check that out. And until then, cheers. Until next time, I see you guys here on the YouTube channel. Thanks for being a part of this right now. Enjoy the Light That Baby Up 7-6 victory. And until then, cheers to your Tuesday night. Check out again Todd's postgame show in just a little bit. Good night, everybody. Thanks for having a blast.